Hello, Anna Boroshok is with you, the founder of Fearless Female Founders and 360 Degrees Academy for Growth for Women. You're listening to a mini masterclass on how to work with your fears so they wouldn't block you from what you want to achieve in your life. I'm going to share with you two very powerful techniques, so please do pay attention to them. The first technique is the work on more conscious level, and the second technique is a deeper technique of working with your fears on more unconscious level. So let's start from the first one. It might seem a very easy exercise, but once you get it into your system and into your blood and understand it on your not only conscious but unconscious level, it will be much easier for you to deal with your fears. And it goes like this. So every time you spot that you feel fear, you need to be mindful and understand where it comes from. So usually when we feel fear, that's because we are growing. So usually we feel anxiety, usually we feel fear when we are going out from our comfort zone. So you really need to be mindful about that and understand, okay, if I feel fear at this very moment, what is the reason first why I feel it? And once you understand that, you need to tell to yourself, I'm growing. I am growing. I am actually stepping outside of my comfort zone, and this is a good thing. So, seems to be, as I told you, an easy technique, but once you start practicing it, it's really powerful. You might forget about it in a bit. So I would really recommend to put it into calendar as a reminder to remind yourself, for example, once a month, that you need to come back to this mindfulness. Okay, now we are going into the second technique, which is very, very, very powerful. But before we go into it, I would like to share with you how I came to that technique. So some of you might know that I have diploma in psychology and psychoanalysis. I read more than 200 books on psychology and personal development, and one of the most important reasons for that was my self-discovery. So I was trying to understand myself, what is limiting myself, what are my fears, and how I can work with them. And most of the techniques that I have found in those books or in the courses that I was attending, it was always like this. You need to identify your fear, and sometimes you need to look into your childhood, for example, into your unconscious. You need to identify that fear, and you need to thank that fear, and you need to let it go. And I practiced this technique over the years, but somehow my fears were persisting. They were persisting. I couldn't understand what I'm doing wrong until very recently, where I understood clearly what I was doing wrong, and I'm going to share it with you. And I don't think you will hear it anywhere else because it's my personal experience, and I understood it on cells level, and I'm sure it's gonna help you as well to deal with your fears in a way that they don't stop you anymore. So what I have discovered, and when I discovered it, when I was at the ayahuasca retreat. If you haven't heard about this experience of mine, go to Fearless Female Founders Facebook group and search up ayahuasca experience, where I share there the whole retreat and what I've experienced during it. But basically my main insights from that retreat was that all these years, as I told you, I was trying to run away from my fears. I thought that I recognized them and I let them go, and I should feel relieved and they should let me unleash my potential, but it was not working. So what I have understood on really deep cells level and conscious level, that instead of accepting my fears, instead of loving my fears, I'm trying to push them away. I'm trying to, just let them go. Like, like during the meditation, when they tell you, when the thought is coming, you need to let it go. It's like, the fear is coming, I'm not afraid, let it go, let it go. So I was constantly pushing away my fears, and that's why they were persisting. So now we are going to do a mini meditation which will show you how you need to work with your fears. I do it every evening and sometimes every morning. You can choose the part of the day which is more suitable for that and practice it as often as possible. So in a moment I will ask you to close your eyes, but before that, pause the video and think about a fear that stops you, that blocks you from unleashing your power and stops you from going ahead. So I will give you maybe 30 seconds to think about that fear and maybe write it down if you want. Okay, so I hope you have identified the fear. Usually you don't need to think too much. So the first thing that comes into your mind, you need to trust it. This is the right moment then to think about that fear. So you have identified that fear. Now close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths, inhales and 3 exhales, and try to breathe with your tummy. Now keep your eyes closed and imagine that you are in your brain and there is a lift, and you are taking that lift and you are going 8 floors down into your unconscious. So you're there, you have arrived, the door is open and you see the space and you know that your fear is in that space. Take a moment to look at how that space looks like. Is it dirty? Is it clean? Is it bright? Is it dark? Just take a moment, maybe 5 seconds, and see how it looks like. Now, gradually start looking for the fear that you have identified before this exercise. It appears in front of you. And now take a moment to look how that fear looks like, how it manifests itself. Is it shy? Is it sad? Is it frustrated? Maybe it's angry? Maybe it's completely relaxed as well. I don't know. Take 10 seconds just to look and feel how that fear looks like and what that fear feels. Now look at your fear and walk towards it. Walk towards it with the intention of love and care and hug that you want to give to your fear. Approach it and hug it with all the love you have, all the compassion, all the care that you have in each of yourself. Give it all to your fear. Embrace it, hug it, give it love. hug it for 5-10 seconds. Now, ask your fear to talk to you. Invite it to sit down. You can choose whatever you want to sit down on. It can be sofa, you can imagine grass, you can imagine yoga mat or carpet maybe. Just sit down in front of your fear and talk to it. Ask it such questions as, how do you feel? Is there anything you want to tell me? What is it that you are afraid of? And I will give you a minute or two to talk to your fear. Okay, I hope you have got a lot of interesting information from your fear. Keep your eyes still closed. Stay with your fear there. Invite your fear to have another loving hug. Tell to your fear that you are there for it. You will never abandon it. You will take the best care ever of your fear, that you will be there for it. That shouldn't be so scared. You will take care of it. You will love it always, 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 and be always there for it. And now imagine the space changing, and it's becoming one of the most beautiful places that you want to be in. And I will let you imagine whatever you think is a beautiful and perfect place for you and your fear. Just 30 seconds to clear the space if it was dark and bring light into it. Bring life to it, maybe sun or wind or flowers, something green and loving and caring like Mother Nature. Now tell your fear that you're together in it, and you will take care of each other, and slowly open your eyes. I wonder how you feel, and really would like now to feel and to know what is your impression about this meditation. But take it easy. It's a very powerful meditation, and a lot of work comes after the meditation. So whatever you learned from your fear, you now need to work on it. So usually I will bring you an example. So the fear can be the fear of going ahead, the fear of success, the fear of losing the job, for example. So you will need to search for examples where you can prove your fear otherwise, and the next time you talk to your fear, and yes, you will have to come back to your unconscious and keep on talking and reassuring your fear, you will need to show and bring the examples that it can be otherwise. And before I complete this video and this mini masterclass, I will tell you about the last very powerful technique that really helped me to get rid of anxiety and problems with sleep, is letting go of attachments. So we are now alive. We are taught since our childhood to get attached to things, to get attached to people, and those things, they become very dear to us, of course, our partners, our jobs, our cars. But the thing is, in life, everything can happen. We can lose the partner, c'est la vie. We can lose our job, we can lose our car, or anything. So you need to accept it deep inside of you that those things, they are coming and going, that in a way you don't have power of controlling those things. But what you actually can control is that if you lose the job, you will most surely will find another job. If the partner for some reason left you, that maybe it wasn't a good partner and you will find a better partner. So put a note or reminder on your phone all the time. I have a notification every day. Let go of all attachments, and your life will be much more relaxed and much easier, knowing that you will always find the solution. Thank you for listening to this video. I really hope it was impactful. Share your experiences with me. I love you and send you a lot of love and care. Bye.